So if you're planning to study next year 2024, it is essential to watch this video until the end to learn more about the plan on capping international students and the modernization that they're going to do this coming year for the International Student Program. Hey, my name is Coach MC and we're back here in Canada. If you're new to our channel, make sure that you are subscribed, and also if you want to see more videos like this, don't forget to like this video. There's so many international students came to Canada for the past years, and now we are now facing the problem with the housing crisis. So there's not enough housing supply for our international students here in Canada. And because of that, the IRCC and the Ministry of Housing are now considering to put a cap on international students. But not just that, they are now establishing the Trusted Institutions Framework by 2024. But why do we need to care about these trusted institutions? So before, we only care about the school with the designated learning institutions with a postgrad work permit. But this time, you need to know the trusted institutions, because these schools will have the fastest processing time for the student visa application. Although they have not shared the list of trusted institutions yet, but they already gave us the core concept of this framework. The main requirement to be identified as trusted institutions in Canada is you need to have sustainable intake. Do you have genuine students? Are you reporting and monitoring your compliance? And lastly, do they provide safe environment and also support their international students? So they already propose DLI indicators, and these indicators will also help you when you're choosing a school for 2024. So let's look at it one by one. The first is the retention rate of international students. They're going to look at the percentage of how many international students who are taking bachelor's degree or diploma, how many of them remain in the program. The high retention rate of the student will reflect the quality of the program. Mostly students will stay in the program if they're satisfied with the education and as well as the support that are given by the institution. And let's just be honest, some students are just abusing the system. They're just using the student pathway just to get here to Canada. So once they're here in Canada, they don't go to school and they just work. So in that way, they will be able to identify if they have genuine students. The next indicator that you have to watch out for when you're choosing a school for 2024 is the percentage of the program completion rate. Are they completing the program within the recommended length given by the institution? Are these students completing the program on time? Are they completing this based on the length of the program? Or are they just not passing the program or transferring to another school? And based on my experience, when I encounter students who are transferring to another school, these students are coming from private institutions without the postgrad work permit. So they came to Canada, they didn't know that they don't have the postgrad work permit, so now they have to transfer to another school without finishing the program. And I believe the private institutions in Canada without the postgrad work permit will have the hard time to be listed as trusted institutions. Some students are having a hard time to finish their program within the time frame if they're starting to fail some of their courses, if the program is too stressful for them. This will also indicate that the school probably do not have enough academic support to their international students. One of the indicators that they also mention is the percentage of the revenue that they're getting from international students. As you know, these publicly funded and private schools are charging international students 3 or sometimes 5 times more than the domestic rate. So they're milking a lot of money from international students. So now they also wanted to see how much are you guys making from this international student? Do you have a budget allocated for this? For example, do they have scholarships? Do they have support like mental health services, immigration counseling, job fair for these international students? So it will be harder for us to see that because we don't have access to their accounting books. But these schools will be forced to have this budget now. Otherwise, they won't be listed as trusted institutions. The next indicator is the student and teacher ratio. How many students are they enrolling into the program? What is the average student number per program? Because recently, there was an issue in Ontario where there's one college, they accepted so many students, they gave them the letter of acceptance, these students got the study permit approval, and when they're about to go to Canada, they canceled 500 letter of acceptance. It is insane. So now they're going to double check the ratio. How many students are you guys accepting into the program? Are you maxing out? Are you going beyond the limit? And the next indicator is the housing, the bed capacity. How many beds are available for your incoming students? Do you have enough allocated beds for these students? Otherwise, you won't be able to be listed as trusted institutions. I believe these indicators, like this change that they're proposing, it will help so much for the incoming students. I know it's going to be harder to get the seats from these institutions. It will be more competitive to get the letter of acceptance. It is for the greater good for international students. This is not just to give you a comfortable living situation, but as well as support throughout your studies in Canada. So let me know what you think about these changes for next year. Do you have anything in mind with this trusted institution? Comment below, and I'll see you in the next one. In our next video, let's talk about the top schools for 2024. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you in the next one.